Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now that we've got access to the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer beta, we've gained a lot of information about the game and what to sort of expect come the full launch here on October 28th. However, gaining access to multiplayer with the ability to go in and create new weapon loadouts and, mess around with the Gunsmith and see what this game is about has also revealed that there's actually been a lot removed from the game that we heard was going to be there before. If you recall, a few months back, myself and a handful of other creators were able to see Modern Warfare 2 early. Some creators actually got to fly out to LA before the next event and play an early alpha build of the game. Others, like myself, got to see a virtual presentation of the game, get to see some campaign missions. They broke down the Gunsmith for us, and from that sort of early look at the game, we gained information regarding a brand new Gunsmith system that was going to be very, very complex, but also very cool for, making loadouts and making class setups and making individual weapons feel very, very unique. And now that we're here in the MW2 beta, it appears to be completely gone. You might remember when we talked about that early screening of MW2, the devs had talked about a new weapon tuning system coming to the Gunsmith, and basically this would allow you to go in and take your certain weapon parts that are universal across a weapons family tree and fine-tune them to play exactly how you want. Now, this was not something that was going to be available for universal attachments. As you guys know, with the new leveling system and attachment unlocking system here in MW2, you don't have to level up every single gun to get every single attachment. Some attachments, like for instance, certain muzzles, certain optics, if you unlock on one gun, you'll unlock it on every other gun in the game. Other attachments, though, are specific to the receiver family tree, and this family tree of weapons was also something that Infinity Ward talked to us about in these early looks at the game, and obviously those are still in the beta right now, and they're going to be in the full game. But the attachments you unlocked in these family trees, things like certain barrels, certain magazines, certain muzzles, stuff like that, they were all going to be tunable. So for instance, on barrels, this is probably going to be where it was going to be used the most, I would say. You could choose to have any given barrel on any given weapon, right? But then you could go in and fine tune it. Now, sure, to have its default properties, let's say it increased the damage range, the recoil control, and the bullet velocity a bit. That's fine, you could have the base values of that, but what if you wanted to fine tune it more? Infinity Ward had mentioned you were going to be able to do this in the Gunsmith and go in and adjust these sliders, basically, where you could adjust the length of a barrel precisely to focus more on recoil control or focus a little bit more on speed. You'd also be able to adjust if you wanted, better aim walking movement speed or better stability or better accuracy, and you could basically make this radar graph, if you will, like I'll put up an example on screen, that would change the core values of attachments and fine tune them exactly how you wanted, which would give you essentially an infinite amount of possibilities for building out any given certain weapon in the game. You could make your own custom class setups, and of course we could break down class setups here on the channel and say, hey, use this muzzle, this optic, this magazine, this underbarrel, and then this barrel, and fine tune the barrel to have 0.67% on the recoil and 0.14% on the speed, and it's gonna feel like it has no recoil and you're gonna move around at a super great movement speed. But obviously this feature, this ability to fine tune attachments, is not available here in the beta, and it appears that they've scrapped it entirely. Like, this definitely was something you'd want to test out in the beta for players to get their hands on and make sure you couldn't break things in some crazy ways. It looks like it's entirely scrapped, which to me does make sense to a certain point. Now, when they were talking about the Gunsmith to us at this early reveal, they specifically said they wanted to make the Gunsmith very user-friendly, very easy to understand, and just simplistic in general. Then they explained how you could fine-tune attachments to minute, properties, and I was like, this isn't simple at all. This is the most complex Gunsmith yet. So it was kind of a complete opposite of what they were going for, so perhaps that's why it ended up being scrapped. That said, this Gunsmith still is not the most basic in the world because of the receiver system. It does appear to be confusing a lot of players, and again, the receivers are basically just alternative weapons and alternative means to unlock more attachments for your gun. yes, you can unlock attachments for shared weapons, but if you want every single attachment on the M4, for instance, you're still going to have to go through and level up all of its receivers because only certain receivers unlock certain attachments. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm probably going to have to reiterate that through many videos this year, but yeah, it does seem like fine-tuning attachments is not going to be a full feature. Also, just a quick reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with stuff like this: news, updates, best loadouts, class setups, everything going on in COD, whether it be MW2, Warzone 2, Warzone 1, you're gonna find it right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date. And if you guys enjoy this video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It's trying to aim for 1,500 likes on this one. I also see several comments and questions about the attachment limit. Of course, we are set to 5 attachments here in the Modern Warfare 2 beta, Gunsmith. And in the past, Infinity Ward never really gave us an exact specific amount of attachments we'd be able to use. They said they didn't want to have the 10 attachment system. When we saw in the game early, there were 3 attachments equipped and that was the max, but they said that was not the final number. They were sort of leaning towards having a set limit of weapon parts and then basic weapon attachments, the parts being the family tree ones that are sort of universal between those guns, and the attachments being the basic universal ones that you'll find on every single gun. It seemed like they were gonna lean more towards like a 6, 7, or 8 attachment, method, but clearly that also has appeared to have been scrapped because we are stuck at 5 here, which I won't lie, with how the system works here in MW2, seems very rough because a lot of the weapons feel better with less attachments. The cons, I think, are to blame for that. They're super harsh in a lot of cases, and obviously there's already a decent amount of visual recoil on a lot of the guns here in MW2, so you have to build out a weapon to be very recoil heavy so that you can control it easier, but then you lose a ton of mobility, and then your weapons are super slow, and then you can't really run around too much. It just seems like the trade-offs here are a little bit awkward with only 5 attachments. Perhaps that can be changed by just adjusting the pros and cons and the severity of each of those and how much they are actually changing things or hurting things. Or maybe we have to have more attachments on there so that we can balance things out a little bit more. Either way, the ability to fine-tune your attachments and have more than 5 attachments on weapons appear to have been scrapped ideas, and those have been removed features from the game. Pretty major features, in all honesty, so I was pretty surprised by that. Also, another thing you might notice here in the beta, the Grand Prix map, the racetrack map that was initially previewed at Call of Duty Champs and talked about a ton for being in the beta, nowhere to be found. Charlie Intel ended up tweeting out saying that it's not clear what exactly happened, but Activision deleted everything mentioning Grand Prix. The videos on their YouTube channel, gone. The blogs, gone. The tweets, gone. It just completely vanished off the face of the earth, apparently, as a map for the beta. I have to imagine it's because of copyright issues with maybe F1. I'm not sure how in the first place they were already designing the map, promoting it on socials, and didn't have issues before that, but I don't know, very weird that the Grand Prix map was just completely removed from the beta and we have no word on that as of now. Might not even be a map in the full game potentially if they don't end up getting the rights to use certain things. Maybe we're gonna have to wait and see, but that was another thing that was scrapped or removed here. So some interesting things going on at the development cycle of MW2 so far. Of course, we're really not all that far out from launch at this point either, so not much time left to actually fine-tune, adjust, add and remove things when it comes to the development cycle, so we'll have to see what ends up changing for the official launch. But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with the latest news, updates, loadouts, tips, everything going on. You are going to find it right here, so feel free to subscribe with those noties turned on. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.